all right. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to yet another beautiful session with our Girls in Tech Facilitators. This is a program tag Speak with Your Mentors, where we get to engage with some of our facilitators and mentors. They are going to share with us their experiences and also their journey into tech, basically. And we're going to be learning a lot from them today. So we have Precious in the house, and we'll be joined also shortly by Joyce and some other of our facilitators who are going to be sharing their story with us today. Once again, you're welcome to Girls in Tech Speak with Your Mentor program. My name is Amara Chinyemobi, and I will be one of your hosts today. So others are coming. It's about to be a party. So thank you so much, Precious, for joining us. Are you with us?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening,
Right.
everyone. Thank you for
Beautiful
having me
smile, a
here.
beautiful face. Oh my God. Seems
You're
like
beautiful.
how did they say the natural gang are winning?
Of
All right.
course, of course. Nothing beats the natural
You
in
know,
the end.
right? You know.
Mm.
Okay. So we are going to jump right into it. Okay, Joyce is also coming on board. We're going to jump right into it. And this is going to be an hour program, so I wouldn't want to waste much of our time. So I'm going to be starting with you first. Precious, can you introduce yourself to us? Can we get to meet Precious? What you do? I mean, can you get to introduce yourself to us?
Okay. My name is Elizabeth Precious Adeze. I am privileged to be one of the tutors and girls in tech. And it's been an honor to actually meet with Miss Amarachi. I joined Girls in Tech as a student, and I am also a teacher. And like, I don't know how to say it, but like, for me, it's a privilege to like rub shoulders with your fellow teachers, start passing through some of their curriculum. So I teach cybersecurity before now. I studied it in school, and now I try to teach it to others so that people can become more cyber aware. People can get to, you know, become more cyber safe. And even if not for yourself, you can leverage it and, get into the cyber world, work for others, get to see how you can protect their network, understand what goes on behind the scene. Because if you don't know what goes on behind the scene, you can't know what you're protecting. So a huge extent, I see a lot of people just rush into tech and they just take an ISC square exam and they just rush into it, and they encounter a lot of problems because they don't really understand what they are doing there. So I saw it as a challenge when I taught in Tech Starters Africa, and I decided that okay, I think there should be a different way to go about it. I understand that with cybersecurity, the networking part can be challenging to some people because it's a little bit technical. But if you get the hang of it, every other aspect of cybersecurity is just going to be easy, easy, easy because you're just building on what you already know. You're layering on the foundation. If you get your foundation right, like I tell people, the others will just flow. And it won't take time before you become a professional. Cybersecurity, for me, I don't know about others. Some people hear the name and they're like, oh, cybersecurity. But for me, I think it's one of the easiest aspects of tech, come to think of it, because you get to understand networking. Then from there, you just start doing analysis. From analysis, maybe to engineering aspects, getting to do the behind the coding and all that. And before you know, you see yourself as a pro. Like for me, I think it's one of the easiest ways to actually get into tech. I've tried the whole design thing. I was in the design class, and sometimes I get lost. Like, okay, how do people even understand that this is supposed to be the design? But with cybersecurity, just understand it's like mathematics. Understand the basics, and the rest you just flow with it. So that's
Mm.
it for me. If for my journey through tech, I didn't want to become a computer person. We all grew up with that notion of you want to become a medical doctor, a pilot, and all that. But after my work, my dad looked at me and he said, "Nah, you're gonna study computer." I was like, "I don't understand. You don't just dump something on me. How do you know I'm going to like it?" And we kind of dragged it for a while, but I said, "Okay, let me just be obedient. I'll do it for 2 years. If I don't like it, I'll switch." And he was
Mm.
like, "Okay." And I went into school. I did my ND first, and after my ND, I asked myself, "Is there any aspect of this thing that you think you might like?" And I went through every aspect of my schoolwork, and I realized that I was good with networking. Like it was my strong point. So I went. It's a live video. So I went from there. I decided to check out some cybersecurity courses, and I realized that people pay like exorbitantly in our country to get the knowledge, and I couldn't afford it at that time. So I said, okay, I'm going back to school. I'm going to study this, and I'm going to come out one of the best in it. That was how I started my cybersecurity journey, and it's been amazing. It's been beautiful.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can do it. I believe every other person out there can do it.
Thank you. That is one thing I believe. But I had something from you earlier. You are making it seem like cybersecurity is more easier than UI UX design.
Now
Is that what
that's
you
a
think?
personal opinion.
I understand. I understand.
Personal opinion. Why I said it is everybody is not design inclined, and if you
Yeah.
don't have that artistic side to you, you're going to have issues with UI UX. So
Yeah.
if you because you are now you are having to, even though in cybersecurity you also have to think like a hacker and try to understand where they can come in, but with UI UX you want to think, you want to understand what this person wants. Like for me, I feel like that's one of the hardest thing to do, getting to understand what someone else is thinking. Like I mean, it
Yeah.
shouldn't be in my head.
Yeah. Okay. I fully understand that. Thankfully, we have our UI UX designers in the house, and they are going to also share their opinion in that regard. But, ladies and everyone, if you're watching us, I will tell you, Precious is one of the best cybersecurity teachers I've ever seen. I mean, she teaches it so well. I was in a class for networking last week, and I was like, for the first time in a long while, I was able to understand OSI very well. So thank you so much, Precious, for doing this with us.
Thank
We are
you,
honored to
mom.
have. All right. Next on my list, I have Joyce. Hello, Joyce. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Are you here
Hello,
with us?
evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Yeah.
Evening. So you don't want to show us your beautiful face today? All right. Hello, Joyce. Okay. It's nice to see you again. I mean, you remember how we did this last year, right? So we are here again with it.
I remember.
All right. So let me jump right into the question, right? So I want to know, actually, can you introduce yourself to us? I'm sure there's a lot of us who don't know you. Can you introduce yourself to us?
All right. Thank you very much, Amara. My name is Joyce Simon Shaba, but for short, Joyce. Shaba. I am a product and also a product design tutor at Nigerian Girls in Tech. And also, I recently started working with a company remotely, Destra
Wow.
Technology. So yeah, I have getting my hand really, really
Please come and
busy.
share the money with us.
So I studied computer science in the university. Well, at first it wasn't what I wanted to go for. But after applying for um, the courses I was interested in at first, that is, I was interested in a medical course, probably pharmacy or medicine, but it didn't work out. So you know how it is in Nigeria, and when you apply for course in the university, they don't end up giving you admission and all that stuff. You need to have a leg, someone inside to bring you in. So it was hard. So I decided that okay, I need to change to something different. So I thought about it and I was like, okay, the next thing I'm interested in is technology because I love fixing things. I love um, fixing gadgets and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, I already did computer training certificate after secondary school. Why not just study the computer science in the university? So and that was how I got to um, study computer science in the university. So that's that about myself.
All right, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you. If like say no mean no study computer science for here. I'm dealing with scientists, engineers. All right. We have Ugweze. Hi, Audrey. Are you here with us?
Hi, good
Hello.
good
All right.
evening.
Are you going to show us your beautiful face? All right. Okay. Hi, Audrey. Can you introduce yourself to us? Can we get hello?
Hi,
Finally, finally. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you.
same
Can you
here,
introduce
same here.
yourself to us? I'm sure your students will want to meet you.
Okay, so my name is Afodilu Ugeze, but you can call me Ugeze, you can call me Audrey. Anyone you want is fine. So I'm a product designer. I studied mechanical engineering. So me doing tech, I actually started learning programming. Yeah, because I was curious. I always wanted to do tech. Yeah, so I think 2021, I think that's when I started my journey into tech, and it's been amazing. Yeah.
Wow, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I will throw another question back at you. What inspired you actually to pursue a career in tech? UI US precisely. What
Okay.
inspired you?
So for tech, I just had this curiosity about tech. I wanted to know what it was about, and I had friends that were also doing it at that time in school. So I reached out to some of them. They explained. I was like, I don't really understand what you guys are saying. So I had to make the research for myself. I had to explore. I had to learn different things. Yeah. So I started by trying out. Then for design, I had a friend that was into design. So while I was learning how to code, because I started
Mm-hmm.
with I think the first thing I did was data analysis. Yeah, data science actually. So I started from there. I learned it, but I wasn't really enjoying it. So I wanted to dive into software engineering. So while I was still doing that, my friend that is a product designer told me to try it. I might actually enjoy it. So that's when I started product design. Yeah, and it's been good.
I believe you. I see what you do. I believe you. I believe you. All right, Joyce. Back to you. Can you share your story with us? What inspired you to go into UI UX? What inspired you to come into tech and UI UX?
Okay.
Hi, Joyce. Yeah.
Hi. So I I got inspired while I was in school because
Okay.
I sat down one day and I was thinking, okay, after the whole degree, you've gotten the certificate. What else? What do I do next? Am I just going to sit down and wait for a government job or a federal um, job?
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at my friends because I noticed that there's this community back then in school. They always
Okay.
have events and they will come to tell you that okay, we have event on so and so, please just come. It's a tech event. So it was um developer student club. Yes, DSC. So I was like, okay, I'll come. So I went to one of their program one time, and they were doing stuff. They were saying things I don't understand, even as a computer science student. And I'm like, what are all these people saying? What are they talking about? I was hearing stuff like JavaScript. They talk about JavaScript, all this programming language, and they were talking about designs. They will um present on the slides, show stuff, and I'm like, what are all these things? I was just be there, and I was just looking. So after the program, I met the president as of then for the
Okay.
DSC in my school. Yes. So and I was like, okay, please, I want him to like, I want you to tell me stuff about tech. I really want to know because I don't want to graduate from the university and then end up just sitting at home, no skills, learn nothing. I want to do something. And he was like, things you can, there is front end, there is Android development. So on that event, the one thing that captured my attention was Android development. And I was like, oh, I want to learn how to start building applications for Android. So then the system I was using, specifications were like small. I was using an old version of system then, and the RAM and everything could not carry the Android Studio. So I was like, I want to start learning, and he was like, okay, he wants to see the kind of system I'm using. So I showed him, and he's like, "Ah, I can't learn with this because the Android Studio is very large, so it will not work on my system." And I was like, "Ah, okay, this is like a major setback. What do I do?" So he was like, okay, I should just chill because we were close to um going for our IT, that is the industrial training. So he was like, yeah, I can actually learn from from there. I can start learning something from there. At least then we'll be out of school, so I will have a lot of time to learn a skill. And I was like, okay, please suggest me something to learn. They were like, there is UI UX design. I'm like, what is UI UX design? I was just hearing UI UX. I didn't know what it is. So it was later on when I started my IT. He even suggested a place where I can do my IT, and I actually applied there. I thank God I got in, and then I started my IT there. So they started introducing us to the courses. We were like six, but everyone with what they wanted to learn. So I was, I think I was okay. No, we were three in the UI UX design track, but I think I was the most serious because I was very, very determined. The others were just there to just get their logbook signed and then pass that stage. So, well, the good thing was I paid attention to everything that was being taught, and I was picking up. And before you know it, I was already designing landing pages, even though it was not perfect. In design, it is never perfect from the beginning. So you have to gradually. But I was doing okay as of then. Even my mentor then was like, my supervisor. He was like, ah, you're trying, no, for someone who is just starting. Look at what you've done. I remember my first presentation. I did my first presentation at DevFest, Niger State, 2019. I presented the landing page, and everyone was so happy. In fact, that day I felt like a celebrity because after the after the whole event, everyone was coming to me. Ah, I want to learn. I want to learn. Please, how did you do this and that? So I got encouraged. I got more courage to want to learn more because like Miss Precious said, design is hard. Trust me, when you see it at first, you would think, ah, this thing is easy, I can do it. But it is hard. The thinking process alone. Ha. So if I try to be honest with people who are interested, I'd be like, okay, this thing is interesting. You get to learn a lot. You get to think differently. You don't, because when you start designing, your thoughts will not be the same again. Like, it is going to be very, very different, because you will not be designing for yourself. I used to say this every time. You are designing for people that will use a product. So, and you can't just be designing interface when you don't even understand it. So you need to know the UX to be able to get the interface, that is the user interface, perfectly. So it is quite challenging through the journey. Sometimes it is sweet, sometimes it is sour, but well, we keep pushing and we are getting better every day. And trust me, every day I learn. I won't lie, because I can't even say I know design, because when you think you know design, you get to meet up with another challenge that will hit you on the head and you'll be like, I don't know anything at all. So it is like that in design. Some days you'll be like, I know, some days I don't know. So
All right. Thank you so much. That was an awesome story. I picked one thing. I mean, everyone, I have my pen, I have my books here, and I hope you do also, because they are going to be dropping nuggets, right? You're going to be learning a lot from them. I learned something from her, and she said, be serious. She said during her internship, basically during her learning period, she was so serious. So if you are here, you are a student, you're listening, your facilitator is saying she was serious, and that was why or how she got where she is right now. You just heard her. She's doing job remotely also, and she's also teaching you, so you can also do the same thing. Thank you so much, Joyce, for that wonderful story. I'm going to be handing over this moderation to our moderator in the house, Snow, Miss Domo, Miss Peace. Please, hello, Ma. Are you here with us? Are you here with us?
Hi, Mara.
All
Can you guys?
right. Hi, good evening. Yes, we can hear you. So I'm handing over the moderation to you. You take it off from here. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. So that was a very nice, inspirational story. It's kind of touching. I hope everybody has been inspired or touched through that great story or the great stories that your mentors have shared today. So that brings us to another very crucial question. It's okay to get into something you're inspired or something you get thrilled to do. How do you guys manage the pressure that comes with the constant learning of new things? How do you juggle that? How do you manage with that? Miss Ugo, do you want to go first?
Okay, let me go first, please.
All right.
Let me go first. So, for me, I manage it by sticking to time. So it took me a while to understand that you need to work on timing. And if you are working on timing, you get more achieved than doing things randomly. So for
Okay.
me, I started out by mapping out my timing. So every morning I wake up, I go through what I have for the day and how I intend to achieve it. And I try to make sure that I am not who I was last week. That's what I tell myself. No matter how little the step, just make sure that you know something you did not know last week. So every week you meet me, at least I should know something new that I didn't know before. So for me, that's how I manage my growth, and it has helped me greatly.
Okay. So time management is an essential tool. That's what you're saying. Miss Joyce and Miss Ugo. Can we hear from you guys? I hope I'm audible enough though.
Yes, loud and clear.
Miss Joyce and Miss Ugo, are you with us?
yes, I'm here.
Okay, question.
What is your question, please?
My question is, okay, like you easily mentioned, there are trends that come up every day. There are new things, new skills that you have to acquire. How do you manage that pressure of learning new things as they come on the go?
Okay, so as those new challenges come up, I try to understand them better because I am the kind of person that likes to ask questions. Like I will ask you till I get it. Also, like the Miss Precious said, time. You need to be able to plan yourself because I understand the point where sometimes things get overwhelming. So, especially when you don't get to plan how you ought to work on a project or on that particular challenge that you have been given. So, you need to be able to time yourself, schedule the things you need to do, more like having your um having everything planned out.
Like a
So
daily.
yes, before I used to have these sticky notes. I write the things I'm going to do for today. So I just know how to task myself in a way that it doesn't become overwhelming. And when I don't get to understand certain challenges, I will ask you a question and I will go ahead and do research until I have gotten better understanding of what the challenge is. Trust me, if you don't know it, you'll get to spend more time trying to solve it. But the moment you understand it perfectly, solving it becomes easier. And then you get to see that, okay, the time you ought to take before, you wouldn't have to consume much and the pressure becomes lesser. So having to plan is very important. And also, I don't like to pile up projects or challenge or tasks like that. Because if you decide that, okay, especially for those of us who want to work remotely, you understand, there are people who feel like, okay, because I'm working remotely, I have the liberty or freedom. I can just keep this and maybe tackle this issue later. And before you know it, more and more issues are coming up. They are bringing more and more challenges for you to solve. Before you know it, a lot of things will be jam packed. I think I had a situation one time, probably last 2 weeks, although it was not my fault. My laptop charger got burnt, so I was unable to work throughout that day, and I already had backlogs I needed to finish. So, well, I actually got to get the system charger, but it was already late in the evening. So I had to start working the next day because I don't like to work at night. So that period where I had to work the next day and to the rest of the week, it was very, very hectic. In fact, I felt sick because the I couldn't finish up with the previous task and another new one were given. So it was just too much. My back, for those of us who sit every day from morning to evening on the system, you understand what I'm saying? I say back. So it was very, very, it was quite challenging and it was hard. So I didn't get to manage or plan my 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 process. So it was kind of challenging. But so far, my growth has been okay. It's been great. So I even I can testify that, okay, I know that where I am now, I was not here probably the last 1 year or 2 years. I know that I have grown past those years, those time where I had other um um skills. I know that I am more now. So the more you tackle new challenges, the more you grow and the more you get better. So
Okay, so much for that. So basically, we've gotten time management and we've gotten plan, daily plan. Okay, I'm sorry, mentors. I need you also to do me a favor. I would like to see you in front of your cameras, please. Please turn on your screens. Share your screen. Let's see your beautiful faces, please. Thank you. This is not an interview section, so let's all take a breather and relax and smile. Let them see your pretty smiles. Is what we need right now, because these students are here to gain knowledge from you. They are people that you all are people that they look up to. So let's see these smiley faces. And when you have all closed up and you just open it to one side, it's feeling like an interview. It's not an interview. So let's all just chill and get it going. So, Ugo, what's your answer to my question? You're muted. We can hear you.
Okay, so adding to what they've said, time management, planning, I would say self discipline, right? Because you could plan, and without self discipline, you won't stick to time. You will not stick to your task. You will not stick to your the plans that you've made, right? You have to. For me, I always watch videos. I think that's how I keep up with the trend, because there's always something new. There's always something to learn. YouTube is an amazing place, right? So I always use Google, I search, I watch videos. I think that's how I'm able to keep up with the trend, with the changing trend. So you need to incorporate self-discipline. You need to be up and doing. Don't don't stop practicing. Don't stop practicing. I think that's very important. The more you design, I'm talking like I think it applies to every aspect of life. Once you keep doing something, once you keep practicing, you get perfect. Even if not perfect, you're perfect. And it becomes something you can do even if someone just wakes you up, you can just do it like that. It's not because you were born that way, but it's because you kept practicing it, because you didn't stop when your body said stop, or when you felt I'm so tired for this today, let me not do it. You use that self discipline and you stick to your plans, you stick to your time management. Yeah, I think that's what I can say.
Okay, so that's exceptional. We've had time management, we've had planning, we have self discipline and research. Research is one of those things that keep you on your toes because it makes you know what is going to come. Even if it does not come, they will tell you there that we are working on so thing, it will come very soon. So in other words, you might still get it during. So I would want you guys to tell me from your own points of views, what are the new trends you think has come up in your industry at this point, from cybersecurity, UI, UX? What are the new trends that are on play right now?
Okay, so I think this applies to every aspect of tech, right? I think AI is actually the new thing, right? AI. So where you have AI transforming or changing text to voice or text to images and stuff like that. So I'd say AI is like one of the most outstanding changes, or one of the most update trend. Yeah.
Okay, AI. They said that it's coming to take over all our jobs, but I pretty know that it can't talk the way I'm talking. So yeah, I'm still safe. It's you people.
I think it can.
No, it's always said. Have you heard all those AI voices? You prefer my voice. My voice is better. So
AI
yeah,
can mimic you
Your voice is
currently.
better. Yeah, your voice is better.
AI can mimic you.
I argue with you. Don't.
No, AI can mimic you and talk like you, and AI can be made to. Someone can make someone believe that you did something and it was done by AI. So AI
Well,
has actually
the
gone beyond what
yeah,
you think.
no AI. It can mimic me. Let's say I do a voiceover on an AI device and I get it to mimic me. It would mimic me, but it would not be me. I don't know. There are these stagnant languages that AIs haven't evolved from. and there are these glitches that they make when they talk. If you listen to AI voiceovers, you just know that this one is AI that is talking.
Okay, now
Yeah,
let me emphasize on something. Sorry
okay.
to cut you short. Let me emphasize on something. Before now, someone cannot use your picture and make a video out of it. But currently, someone can use your picture that he picked online and make a video, a full video out of it, and you did not participate in it. So your voice, if you have ever recorded anything and AI has listened to it over and over, AI can mimic your voice.
Yeah, we are saying the same thing. It can mimic my voice. There is no doubt. But it is still not me. That is my point. Does it have my fine face? No, it does not. So,
AI and AI can mimic your characteristics.
well, it can't do that 100%. It's not proven, anyways. But then again, I'm still the best for it. So let's just allow it. Allow me to enjoy and bask in my happiness. Why do you want to steal my joy? Okay. So, Joyce, what do you think is the new trend in your field?
Mm, well, the new trend is still AI because I remembered they just did Figma config as of last month. So they introduced a lot of things and even made existing features better. But the new one, which is like kind of new, is still the AI, which will be um, added when they make. I think the next. I think when they are done with the new UI that they plan to um, update on Figma, we'll get the AI feature. So that's like one of the trends. I think we've had trends of different kind of designs before, but we are sticking to flat and material designs for UI UX designers. So there is nothing new for now. There's nothing new except
No.
that people keep making um, good designs. They keep creating really good designs in a different way, different method, different process. So it's more like we have the same thing, but we are like recycling it, making it better. Then aside the AI, there are no new trends for now.
Mr. Ashon, that is the advocate of AI. They will not steal my job. It's my own. Thank you. But
Okay, AI will
Actually,
not steal
actually,
your job.
so
If you know
someone
what
asked.
you're doing, AI cannot steal your job. AI will only steal your job if you do not know what you're doing.
I'm not.
Exactly, I know what I'm doing. Okay, now you're talking. Now we can be friends.
Yeah, the thing is you know how to use get other people in your field because learning how to use AI makes your work better and it is kind of like
It makes
faster.
it easier.
So something you get to like put your brain to test, trying to think and think and think. You when you get to involve AI, it helps you think it faster. You understand? So you just get the idea from there and make it better. So it's just like working hand in hand with AI. It's not like AI is going to AI can't do everything perfectly. So you have to work together with AI to actually get
Exactly. Glitch, they're there. There are those things that makes them see. There's okay, fine. Firstly, humans invented this AI we are talking about. A
yes
human being invented it. How do you invent something and you think something smarter than you?
at all.
It's possible.
Not
Well, humans invented cars, and cars are doing better than horses. Humans invented aeroplanes, and aeroplanes are doing better than cars. So,
Possible.
thinking that AI will not do better than you, you're living in the past. But there was something Joy said that I picked, and I agree with her, and it is there was something
Yeah.
Joy said, and I agree with her. And she
mm-hmm.
said, you pick from AI, you work with AI. So AI gives you decisions, and then you make a better decision with it.
Exactly. It's a healthy
And
tool. It makes it better if you know what you are doing, though. Now, me, I'm telling you that me, I know what I'm doing, so AI cannot steal my job. It's people that don't know what that
Why
AI.
why are you taking this personal?
That
You actually like AI is coming from you alone.
okay. So, Miss Precious, what's new? What's the new trend on cybersecurity?
okay, with cybersecurity, I would say um, everything, every movement that tech makes, it there is something they call, is it the law of motion, equal and opposite. So
Yeah.
yeah, law of reaction. So with every new invention, whether AI, blockchain, or whatever new invention is coming out, the truth is people are the bad guys are constantly looking for ways to break distance, break into distance. And as they do it, they are creating jobs for us because it means we need more people to protect people from it. So our CVE is growing. That is our common vulnerability and exposure database is growing every day, and it encompasses like everything in tech. So that's for me, that's you just have to check out what's new, with WordPress and the rest of them. There's been vulnerabilities attached to them and how it can be managed and all that. So even with UI UX, there is a way you design what you design, and somebody can just send you something into your system, and that's all the work you did, everything's just gone like that. So they are they are new, they are coming up, and that's why I tell people I think everybody should just be involved in this security business, because we will get to a point where everybody needs to learn how to keep themselves cyber safe.
Okay, that's really nice. So this next question goes to our UI UX team. Um, what skills do you think are essential for you to be able to delve into UI UX designs?
Okay, I would say I don't know if it's a skill, but I think you should be open to learning, right? And you should you should have, let's say, an artistic approach to things. You should be creative. You should be open minded, right? Don't try to be rigid. And what else? I think that's all. But I think the most important thing is being willing to learn. Yeah.
Okay, your willingness to improve yourself should
Yeah.
count. Right?
All right, Miss Ugozi, did I pronounce it? Yeah. Miss Ugozi have said everything. If you want to be a UI UX designer, you need to be open. Like you need to be open. I think I made a mistake when I started. I made this mistake of not opening. I used to say this thing that if you believe that you know everything, trust me, you don't know anything, and you will not be able to learn something new. So, but when you open up your mind to learn, to listen, because um, being a UI UX designer, you have to be a listener. So it's more like um, you always trying to hear from the other people. You don't get to be like, no, I have to say something. No, you can also say something, but you don't have to be like, nah, this person cannot talk to me. No, you have to listen. Anybody can come and talk to you. As long as it is designed, just be open, listen. Um and there was something to say, but I have forgotten. Also, um practice. Yes, practice. Always practice. Be creative, be innovative. You have to be very, very innovative. If you're that kind of person that don't think far, you don't open up your mind to want to see how you can um, create something, then you won't be able to do design. So you have to be open. You have to be open minded. Open your brain. Like your brain will work very well. So you need to be creative. Um, Go online. Sometimes we don't it's not like this creativity comes naturally. Sometimes we learn to be creative. So you have to learn to be creative. You go out, see what other people are doing, see how you can make yours better, or how you can actually make change to what they have done. You understand? Because design is not you having your ideas. It's you getting from other people's ideas, making your own. So you have to be creative and you have to listen also.
Okay, so just to add to that, I think personally that an essential skill to be a UI UX designer is you have to be able to be a problem solver. In order to be a problem listen, like you have said, you have to pay attention, you have to be attentive, you have to be a spotter to know that there
Yes.
is a problem. Actually, you have to actually find out the problem before you can provide solutions to problems. So, Miss
Mm-hmm.
Precious, what's an essential skill if I want to be ahead now? It's like you have said, AI will soon take my job. So now I want to go and learn cybersecurity. What skill do I need to delve into cybersecurity? I'm serious.
AI will not take your job
No,
because
I've
you know what you are doing.
agreed. Right?
AI will not take your job because you know what you're doing. But if you want to learn cybersecurity, there are three major skills that I feel is should be like across board. Everybody should have when coming into cybersecurity. The first one is discipline. You have to be a very disciplined person because cybersecurity is very broad and there is no end to learning in cybersecurity. That means you have to constantly update yourself, otherwise you become outdated. So you have to have that discipline that you should look out for what's new. You should look out for you should just keep learning. The second one is you should be a very honest person because the job is it's a very dicey job, and it's just a thin line between being on the good side and being on the bad side. And trust me, if you are not a disciplined honest person, it's easy for someone to pay you off and you start working against the person you were working for. So, and the third one is you should be someone that pays attention to details because with security, the least mistake could cost you all the hard work you've been putting in. You could put in a lot of hard work, do everything right, and just one mistake will cost you everything that you have put into into ensuring that you have good security posture. So those three are like basic. Then for every other aspect, or depending on the aspect of cybersecurity, because there are so many aspects of cybersecurity you want to go into. So every other aspect of cybersecurity would depend on yeah would depend on other soft skills. Other soft skills. When I say other soft skills, like if you want to be a good hacker, yeah, aside the practice, it means you should be someone that is adept to wanting to know what's going on behind the scene. You break things apart, you bring them back together. If you want to be a good forensic person, you should be somebody that is willing to find out how it happened, when it happened, why it happened. So that's why I said depend now for the other every aspect of cybersecurity. Those three are just basic. So depending on where you are going to, that will determine what other skills you might need to pick up.
Okay, so do you use tools in cybersecurity?
Yes, we do a lot of tools. Yes.
What's your favorite tool, and why is that your favorite tool to use?
Okay, I don't think there is any one tool that works for every aspect of cybersecurity, but I love networks. I like to know who's on my network and why the person is on my network and what the person is doing on my network. So I love to use Wireshark like a lot. Then I love Kali Linux. It's an integration of so many tools, and any beginner, like if it gives you a good knowledge of what the general cybersecurity is about, because you get to see a tool that attends to at least one tool there that attends to what you're looking for. So depending on what you want to do with the tool.
Okay. Miss Joyce and Miss Ugeze, what are your favorite design tools, and why are those your favorite design tools?
Okay, my favorite design tool is Figma. Well, the reason why I am in love with Figma because I love Figma a lot. So I remember when I started, we were supposed to use Adobe XD. It was like a compulsory tool that we need to use for the internship then during the industrial training. So I I couldn't use XD very much because of my system. Remember, I said I had a system with low specification and RAM, so XD also needed a bigger system. So even then, I was given another laptop from the office to use XD for, but I was using XD and I was not enjoying it. Although, because I wasn't enjoying XD as of then, but the moment I go back home, I use Figma at home to practice. So Figma seems to be way more easier and easy to access. And before you know it, it was like I saw the future because after some years, everyone started jumping back to Figma. Even my mentor of then was like, ah, please, oh, I should. It's like he wants to go back to Figma. Or Figma is seems more interesting, and there is a lot of things to do on Figma. Figma itself is it's a tool that you need to learn because if you are able to work with Figma, if you're able to know Figma perfectly, trust me, as a designer, you get to work faster because there are so many features on Figma you can explore while designing. So Figma is my favorite design tool. Well, I don't have a MacBook yet, so I haven't tried Sketch, and I don't know how that works. But I think even people with MacBook now are using Figma. So yeah.
Thank you, Miss Ugeze.
Okay, so for me, I would say Figma. I think Figma has vast features, right? We even have like a feature for the developers too. So down to wireframing, prototyping, and all. It's actually very, very broad. It covers like basically everything in design. So I've not really had a need to learn another or learn how to use another tool. So since I started designing, I've always used Figma. I've not had any need to learn any other um, design tool. So yeah.
Okay, that's okay. So I would love each of you to run us through a problem you've encountered during this years you've been designing, and during this years you've been a cybersecurity expert. Give us a situation where you've encountered a problem and how you actually did solve it.
Okay. So for me, when it comes to designing, I have issues with brainstorming, right? So I have to do a lot of research. I have to try and gather information. I use ChatGPT a lot. It helps. So I use ChatGPT, I use Google, I use YouTube. So like the one issue that I've had was, I think I was designing a project and I was supposed to come up with um the how the structure was going to be. So I tried to brainstorm on my own, but it wasn't really doing much for me. So I used ChatGPT and it actually like gave me an insight on what to do, right? So that was how I was able to solve that particular problem of ideation, trying to come up with um like how to structure the information I had. Yes, that was the issue I had. I was trying to structure my information, or let's say more like information architecture, where you are trying to structure the content you have to ensure that your users have a good user experience, or they don't find it hard. They have a seamless experience while using your product. So that was the issue I was having, trying to structure this information, or trying to structure the content. So I used ChatGPT, it gave me an insight and I just made it better. So yeah.
Okay. So AI to the rescue. No problem. Auntie Precious, the AI advocate. What said? So how did you scale them?
Okay. For me, it was testing for an application. So I sometimes help my friends, test out an application, find out if there are vulnerabilities in it, and only to realize that my system was kind of compromised. And my system was compromised, and it just was giving us something else. And when we put it out there, people were complaining about a lot of errors that I couldn't detect. And I realized that my system was the problem. Trying to fix the system, my system broke down and I had to get another one. So for me, that's why I tell people, when people ask me, what specification should I use, what specification should I use, I give them something a little bit more than average, because telling you to use the least specification, there are some things you would want to do and you crash your system. So for me, that's one of the problems I encountered. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, Miss. How about you?
Okay, so well, this year, one of the problem I had was when I was meant to work on a project. I think the project I'm currently working on right now, this is a product that you don't get to see anywhere. You understand? So it was a product that only the people from the US can use. So it was kind of like hard to like understand what it is at first, because I am not in US. I don't know about this product and I don't know how it works. You understand? And I actually tried to make some research online. I tried to make research online, but you know how protective pressures, you understand, you are a cybersecurity person. You know how protective all these um, white people are about their products. You can't access it. Even if you use VPN, sometimes you don't get to access it. And besides, this is a product that has to do with money and all those stuff. So it was like very difficult, and I had to communicate with my boss that okay, this product you want us to work on is kind of challenging because we can't actually access anything related to it on the internet. But trust me, when we started, it was easier because he provided everything that we needed, and he made sure that he break down every um, task that he gave to us. So the requirements were like clear and easy to understand. So it was like easy to work on. So that's just
Mm.
the problem I think I encountered this year.
Okay, so we know that being into tech entails a lot of burnout, especially when you overwork yourself, you get burned. How do you guys prevent burnout? And so how do you balance your work life relationship? How do you balance?
Um, well, for me, uh, I'm not I'm not much of a social person, so it is kind of like easy for me to like handle. So when I work and I get burned out, like you said, most times I just close my system at that point. When I feel okay, there are nothing coming up to my head right now, like no inspirations are popping up, so I need to like take a break. That's when I know that okay, I need to actually take a break from this, refresh. So most things I do while refreshing is sometimes I sleep, and most of the times I watch movies. I love movies a lot. So when I watch movies, I feel refreshed. Like it helps clear my head from all the thinking of the things I'm meant to do in the design, what I've forgotten, ideas that I'm not getting. So my brain at that moment becomes clear. At least I'm not thinking about anything at that point. So after I have taken my refreshment, well, once in a while I try to go out. I have my cousins who live here close by, so we just go out together, get some drinks, and then come back home. And then while I'm back, I know that okay, I am ready to handle this situation or this problem. So it becomes easier and faster. But if I decide that okay, I really want to get this thing, even though I feel burnt out, I don't get productive that way. So the best is I just allow it to rest and then get back to it later.
Sorry, my mic is muted. Now you with us? I don't know if you're having. Oh my gosh, she's having network issues. All right, ladies, I've been on the background and I have been enjoying this show. I'm sure a lot of us are really enjoying these shows also. Please, ladies, if you're listening to us, if you have your questions, please on YouTube keep them coming. We are seeing your questions and we're going to take them shortly. So please, we are going to be running up right now. And thank you so much, Precious, once again for being here. Thank you, Go. Thank you, Joyce. Hope we are not sweating too much. It wasn't an interview, right?
I am not
No,
me.
Okay, so we're waiting for her anyway. So while we are waiting, let's quickly pick some questions that are on YouTube because we are rounding up. So I have a question here from Ketura. Ketura says, please, I have a question. How can I handle the pressure or get to know the trend in my field? So her field is graphic design that is consistently researching when study a course at school that is unrelated. Okay, so that's her question. How can she handle the pressure or get to know the trend in her field, graphic design, that is consistently researching when I study a course at school that is unrelated? Okay, so I don't know who would want to answer that question for us. So before you answer, Ketura, if you're also listening to me, so graphic design facilitators will also be here. But the next live show we are doing, so also come. You're also going to listen to their own story and experiences. Okay, so please, anybody care to answer this question for us?
um, so let me see if I could help with that. So when it comes to staying up to trend, right? I think one thing that helps me is I think Google helps me. Because sometimes I just get notifications, right? And they'll just tell me so and so thing happened, or this news about Figma, and then they'll say, "Are you interested?" And I'll click interested. So I think your feed, what you search for, helps you too. So once you are constantly researching these things, because of the algorithm, it's your this thing, your the data your this thing has, or your browser has, would related to the stuff you're doing. So I think that helps you to stay in trend. Those notifications that you get, you can actually subscribe to some design blogs. I think that would help too. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Precious, do you have anything to add to that? How do you stay
Yeah,
informed?
she said it rightly. Another thing I wanted to add is join communities. Join communities. You get to see the latest trends, and you'll even be able to find someone that will guide you through something that you do not understand.
Okay, that's a beautiful one. We just learned, Ketura, I hope that answers your question. Okay, Ketura has another question. She says, and also, how do you balance these things with developing yourself? I mean, like your own personal development. That's Ketura question. All right. Any other, Precious, let's start with you. How do you balance these things with developing yourself personally?
I think we kind of have answered it, because like I said, time, yeah, time management. You just have to give yourself time. I usually encourage my friends that are learning, and I tell them that you fix a time. If you fix 8 p.m. as your time for learning, you ensure that 8 p.m. you show up. That brings about discipline. So even if you get a remote job, you it just flows. You That discipline is already there, that okay, this social time is meant for this, and this social time is meant for this. So for me, I schedule my time, and a lot of my friends will tell you, when anytime we call you, you always have something on and all that. You can't just call me out of the blue and tell me, we are partying and all that. I won't answer you, because it's not part of what I've scheduled for the week. So if you have your timing like set right, yes, you'll be able to manage a lot of things.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Ugo, do you have anything to add?
Okay. I think Precious has said practically everything. Yes. So you have to be very mindful. You have to be. I'm looking for a word to use. You have to be intentional. Yes, because it can be a lot. It can be a lot. So sometimes you're just trying to, okay, I'm trying to be sure that I'm very good with Figma. I'm trying to improve my design in this. And like, for someone that is in school, you realize, oh, I've not done anything like with regards to my studies so far. It happened to me when I was in school, when I was learning software engineering. I was always on my system 247, right? So like it got to a point I didn't even care about classes and all that. So it can be that bad. You have to be intentional about it. You have to try and have a calendar, or be able to plan yourself, be able to set out times for particular things like Precious said. So yes.
Hmm. All right, thank you. Snow, do you have anything to add regarding that? I know, I mean, all of us, how do you balance learning, working with developing yourself, like personal development? Are you here with us? Okay,
Yeah, I'm
Snow.
here. Okay, so first off, I feel like your time management matters a lot. How you manage your time, how you prepare towards your day, actually gives you an insight of what your day would look like. Most times, we fall short of the things we want to do, not because we didn't have the time to do it, but because we did not plan properly from the onset. So I feel like first things first, you set up your target for the day, things you're supposed to do for the day. Even if additional things come along the way, you know that these are the main targets I have for today, and you root them out. In that manner, You'd be able to schedule your time for work, your time for whatever personal life or whatever personal thing you have to do, and you'll be able to give this differentiation, this separation between both of them. And then to improve yourself, generally, it depends on you. Nobody can improve you for you. That's just the honest truth. You have to be
100%.
willing to want to be a better person. You have to be willing to want to know more than you already know. You have to be willing to put in the work. Because honestly, it doesn't come in easy and it doesn't come in cheap. You have to sacrifice something. If it's not your time, it's paying for a cause, so you have to sacrifice money. It nothing comes in cheap or free anymore. Even the ones that come in free, they come in with expenses. Like your time is very precious and expensive. Even if they are offering you these ideas or these creations or this knowledge for free, you are sacrificing something, which is your time. So for you to be able to actually carry all this out, you have to have that willingness and that zeal to want to sacrifice something. Or you have to be willing to learn. If you're not willing to learn, then you shouldn't even venture in the first place. Because, like I said, you must sacrifice something. Something must be sacrificed, whether you want to or you don't want to. So that's how I feel about it, and that's how I manage my time and improve myself.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. We everything they've said is really on point. I'm just going to add something to what Precious said. This is something I also do with procrastination. I know a lot of us suffer from procrastination, right? Like you want to do this, you use your head first. My people will tell me. I remember when I was growing up, my people will always tell me, use your head, your brain first to do the work, even before when you've not even started, right? So one of the things that helped me also is this: I fix a time, like Precious said, fix a time. I attach my learning. Let's say I want to learn something, I attach my learning to a particular thing I do every time. Say for instance, I brush in the morning, I will tell myself immediately I finish brushing, I'm going to learn. All right, so this is another tip you can also use. All right, Precious, this question is for you. This is from Favor Chinaza Michael. She says, she's asking, what area of cybersecurity are you into, Miss Precious? That smile.
Okay, currently that's hard to say because since I teach, sometimes you're going to get people asking you to teach them some stuff that you know that you're not really into, and you just have to learn it. And yes, so I started out with networking, I went into forensics, I went into testing, web application testing, and that's it. I just keep growing. So I can't really tell you that this is just what I do in cybersecurity.
Wow, I am impressed. I am highly, highly impressed. You are good. Thank you so much. It's an honor having you teach us. Sincerely,
I'm
those of you in
very
cybersecurity, I'm sure you guys are testifying. Same also as our UI UX designers, I'm sure you guys are testifying. So please, again, with what Snow said, you registered for this course. Beautiful. I've told us, I've been in these classes, like in our classes for the past week, and I kept telling us, your facilitators will give you 60, 70, 80%. The best they have, they will give it to you. But you see that 100%, you have to put in work. You have to work, you have to learn, you have to make sure that this is really what you want. How much do you want this? We keep saying that. We have developed a lot of things to help you, keep you in line. You have accountability group, you have your visibility group, you have your facilitators always available. Please make use of all this, okay? And make sure you are growing. We want testimonies. We want at the end of these 3 months, 4 months, we want testimonies that you can say, oh, I joined this, I learned, I have a job, right? That's what we want. But for that to happen, you have to take this very serious. So thank you so much, everyone. I am signing out. I'm handing it over back to Snow to close up the stuff for us. So Snow, finish up with the question with them. I think we should round up. Maybe they share what they have. for our students, and then we'll call it a day. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's take the last question before we call it a night. So we are here, or you guys are here as mentors, and I would like you guys to emphasize on the usefulness or the importance of mentors in your career path. What are the ways you can actually seek for mentors? How do you go about seeking for mentors that can inherently make your jobs easier or give you things to look up to? How do you do that?
Okay. When it comes to seeking for mentors, there's this thing Precious said: join a community. So when you join the community, you have access to people, right? You have access to people that have been in that field for a longer period than you. So you can reach out to them, and because they're in that community with you, they would feel more obliged to help you compared to maybe going on Twitter and then reaching out to a random person. So what mentoring does for you, it helps to shorten your, let's say, your learning path. It won't shorten it too much, but then it helps. So that instead of like going around looking for solution, you can just reach out to the person, ask your questions, and because they are experienced in that field, they would make it easier for you, right? They've had to deal with what you're going through, so you don't have to go through that same issue. So they are kind of cutting that process out for you. So I think that is a benefit of having a mentor, and joining a community is an easy way to have access to mentors. Yeah.
Okay. Miss Precious and Miss Joyce.
Okay. She rightly said it, and I want to just emphasize on what she said. Some people just, try and meet up with somebody and be like, just be my mentor. And trust me, mentorship is like, it's weighty. If you ask me, if you tell me be my mentor, it carries a huge weight because it feels like I have to be responsible for your growth, and truly you do need people to point out the right direction for you. So if you need a mentor to actually tell you that you're going in the right direction, because most probably your mentors have made mistakes that they will try to ensure that you do not make. So yeah, having a good mentor will help you streamline what you're doing. It make your learning easier too. But please don't just rush up to anybody and just be like, be my mentor. Trust me, it's nobody wants that burden on them. But you can reach out to somebody, ask your questions, put yourself out there, get to be friends, and let the person guide you gently without you, and understand that this person has what he or she is doing, and they may not have that time to always attend to you, but every time they give you your time, cherish it and ensure that you get the best out of them.
Okay. Miss Precious. Miss Precious. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. We are waiting on you to give us an insight on.
I think that should be Miss Joyce because I just finished talking.
Okay, so I think I'm meant to go next. Um, um, Miss Precious and Miss Ugoize have said everything, like they have practically said everything about why you need a mentor. It's very, very important. There are some things, even if you decide that you want to go ahead to learn online, search Google, go to YouTube, and then try to solve a problem. Sometimes without a mentor, you might not be able to understand it. But when you have someone that says, "Oh, this thing that you did, you're meant to do it like this. You're meant to do it this way, or maybe this is bad." All those little um little addition to your work is very, very helpful. Like, before you know it, you're understanding that I'm not supposed to do this thing like this, and I'm supposed to do this thing like that. So you get better. Having a mentor helps you helps you learn faster. I mean, it aids your learning. Like Miss Precious said, she said you need to know that these mentors they are doing. So you have to be very patient with them, and you also have to be serious. You cannot just go ahead to meet someone. "Ah, please, I need you to be my mentor," and then this person has already had it in the back of their mind that, okay, I want to mentor this person because they reach out to me. Because I think everyone um who uh, who have gotten someone that is a mentee before, they do feel honored that, okay, this person finds me worthy to actually be their mentor. So they want to be there for you. They want to. So on your own side, right now, you shouldn't discourage them by not actually doing what you're meant to, because there are some people that will come to you and say, "Ah, I want to learn. I want you to be my mentor." And when you actually decide to, okay, want to help them, probably you guys have started, they become unserious by the end of the road, at the middle of the roads rather. So it's get tiring, and that's why sometimes, because it has happened to me, that's why most times when people come to me and be like, "I want to learn," I don't usually like my mind towards that, because I just that this person might not be serious. So if
I think our network is.
Yeah. And we can't hear you, Snow. Your audio, we can hear you. Your audio is not audible. You're not audible. We can hear Joyce also. Your voice is very, like your volume is almost not there. All right. So while we are waiting for her to fix her audio, Precious, I think you can just try to conclude. What are your final words for our students, for your students who are watching you today, right? What are your final words to them? So let's use that to close. Okay, you are muted. You are muted.
Sorry, sorry. My final words for tonight will be every little step matters. It doesn't matter that you're not getting everything right at the moment, but just make your little steps. There were times I also felt overwhelmed, but I just put in that effort that every day I need to learn something new. And even what I knew before, I still made the effort to find out if there is a better way to understand it. So every day, if you can, every day, just put yourself out there. And if you cannot make it every day, ensure that every week you learn something new. If you can do that in no time, you see yourself so much more improved than you ever imagined.
I totally agree. Thank you so much. Cybersecurity student, I hope you heard that from your facilitator. And also all the participants of Girls in Tech, I hope you heard that. Thank you so much, Precious, for joining us. We are honored once again to have you. All right, Snow, are you back?
Yeah, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, we can hear you. So I think Precious have just given us her final words. So we're waiting for Joyce to do that and then we conclude.
Okay, Joyce, is your network any better?
Yes, it is now.
Okay. So would like you to just highlight or give a summary of all the details you want to pass out there to the students and those listening to this live right now. It could be encouragement, it could be skill sets given, it could be whatever recommendations, anything.
Okay. Well, the first thing first, you you need to be serious. I said this from the beginning. You have to be serious, be determined. You know, when you are not determined, you even if you are interested in something and you're not determined to do it, you will not get the drive to actually go for it. But when you're determined that okay, I want to do this, I want to get better at it, and you put effort. Ugoze said self-discipline is also important. Self-discipline, you you get to apply all of those things. You're definitely going to soar higher. Also, I'm going to encourage um, everyone listening to always to not give up. I know that there are some certain challenges that we tend to face that will be like, Omo, are you sure I'm going to be able to do this thing because of probably I'm lacking maybe in one thing or the other. Probably your system has issues or you don't have a system at the moment. You can start learning theoretically, then later on you practice. So there are no limitations to learning, no matter the challenges. There are people who started writing code on paper before they even transfer to start um, writing it on the system, probably before they got their own system and start writing. So always be positive. If you put your mind to it, be positive that okay, even if you don't get it now, you'll get it in the nearest future. Trust me, it is not that rosy. It is not always rosy at first in tech. I think in every aspect of life, things don't be rosy at first, but later on, you start seeing that everything you work for start paying. So that's all I have for students.
Okay, thank you so much, Joyce, for joining us. Thank you for all the inspirational words and motivational words you have said, all the encouragements, and all the teachings you've given today. We at Girls in Tech will really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Miss Amara, do you have any closing statements to give before we call it a night?
Yeah, basically nothing from me that I everything I've been saying since. Please, in your classes, take it serious. Your accountability group, take it serious. Your visibility, take it extreme serious. Your note taking, serious. Okay, these are the things that are going to help you. Okay, you have to put in the work, and definitely the truth is there's nobody that put in the work that would not reap the benefits. It just is a given. Once you put in the work, you make your sacrifices, you're definitely going to get something back, but you have to first put in the work. All right, thank you so much everyone. Once again, I am Amara Chinyimobi and I'm signing up. Bye. Snowball
Bye.
party.
Okay, so you've heard Miss Amarachi, you've heard Miss Precious and Miss Joyce. There is nothing that comes good that is easy. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. There's nothing that comes good that's easy. Whatever you want to be changed, you have to change it. Nobody's coming to save you. So you have to put in the work. Dedication is key. It might not seem easy right now, but they say whatever you continue doing, it gets easier along the way. You get the hold of it. If you have issues with whatever you're doing, we are always here. We are Girls in Tech. We're always here to listen to your questions and give answers to them. We are here to listen to your problems and help provide solutions to them. Your mentors are there. Your teachers are there. The administration of Tech, we are all here for you. So please, whatever questions you have, please forward them to us. They'll be duly answered. You so much for having and taking the time out to be here with us and to listen to. Thank you, Tamara, Precious, Joyce, and Ugeze, even if you're not here anymore. Thank you so much. I am Snow Black, and thank you for being here with us for this long. Signing out. Do have a lovely evening, everyone.
All right. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.